In this C and 5D, where we're discussing the laws of detachment and syllogism. Okay, the law of detachment consists of three parts. Okay, and in this document, we're going to talk about both the conceptual and the symbolic representations of the law of detachment. If we know, given the following statements, if P is true or if P has happened, then Q is true or has happened, okay, and then the symbolic representation for that statement would be right over here, and P is true or has happened, so we've got this representation right there, then derive a third true statement from those two facts, and that third statement is that Q is also true or must also have happened. The symbolic representation of the law of detachment is listed right here. If P, then Q. So P, arrow to the right, and then Q, and we're saying that true or has happened, P right there, and therefore, which is what our little triangle of dots means here, therefore, the law of syllogism is conceptually similar to the law of detachment, but it's different because it incorporates a third factor or component. And it's also very similar to the transitive property that some of you may remember one, where we would say if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is also equal to C. So let's take a close look at what I mean here. Okay, conceptually, the syllogism, we would say A is Q, or if P is true, then Q is true, or if P, then Q. And our symbolic representation would be right over here. And if Q, then R is true, so Q, then R, P, then R. Okay, so basically what we're doing here in the law of syllogism in the right-hand side is the law of syllogism uses a constant, in this case it's Q, to help us connect or form a link between P and R. Okay? And if we want to consider an example of the law of, here it is right here. We diagram down below, okay? If it snows today, then I will wear gloves. Okay, and I've color-coded these to kind of make it easier on us. So if it snows today, then I will wear gloves. If P, then Q. Okay? If I wear gloves, then will get itchy. So if Q, then R. Just like we had up here. P, then Q. If Q, then R. And because of those two statements, we can deduce a third statement. If it snows today, or we can make a decision that if it snows today, then my hands will get itchy. If P, then R. Okay, so syllogism, remember, the law of syllogism is a little bit different from the law of detachment. We've got Q and we've got R. We're not just dealing with P and Q anymore. Okay, three factors that we're looking at here.